dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. A pair of conflicting federal court rulings over medication abortion came down on Friday. These cases are part of the new U.S. political landscape that emerged when the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade last summer. Isabel Rosales has the latest.
Mifepristone is an FDA-approved drug, the first of 2 different medications used to terminate a pregnancy. It's safe and effective and has been used by millions for more than 2 decades. But on Friday in Texas, a conservative judge said the FDA's approval of the medication should be halted, saying the agency failed to consider the trauma and stress women experience with a medication abortion. Judge Matthew Kaczmarek paused his ruling for 7 days to allow appeals. The White House says it will fight, while the Senate Majority Leader spoke out against the judge's ruling.
This is an awful, extreme, and unprecedented decision. Let's be clear. This is about the Republicans' goal of a nationwide abortion ban.
There is no question that the President and I are going to stand with the women of America and do everything we can to ensure that women have the ability to make decisions about their health care.
The Justice Department and the drug maker have appealed, and they're also seeking stays, which will freeze the judge's ruling as the appeal goes forward. Meanwhile, a judge in Washington state has ordered the federal government to keep the drug available in the 17 states and the District of Columbia, which had sued to expand access to it. Now, the rival rulings could put the battle over reproductive rights back on a path to the Supreme Court. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
The Texas decision could also bring out new internal dissent within both the Democratic and Republican parties. On Friday night, some liberal Democrats argued that the White House should disregard the order and instruct the FDA to stick to its current position. Well, in some sad news, a 13-year-old Kentucky boy drowned in the Gulf of Mexico while visiting the beach in Destin, Florida on Friday. According to the Herald Leader, the boy was a 7th grade student at Fulton County Middle School. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office says several juveniles were struggling in the water about 65 yards offshore when surfers caught sight of them and helped rescue them. They say one of the swimmers could not be found. After a search, the child was later recovered from the water by the Sheriff's Department's Marine Unit. Officials with the Barberville Police Department are investigating an armed robbery at the Bimble BP gas station just south of Barberville. They said the robbery happened shortly after 6 a.m. on Saturday. After investigation, officials said a man dressed in all black went into the store, showed a gun, and took all the money from the cash registers. They added the man left the store and went toward Kentucky 1304. If you have any information, you can call the Barberville Police Department at the number you see on your screen, 606-546-3441.
Well, we are tracking some clearing skies, a few spotty showers, and also a frost advisory as we go into tonight. Here's a live look right now over at satellite and radar, and notice the back edge of the clouds that continues pushing off to the east, but we are still tracking a few of those spotty sprinkles at this hour, especially over Claiborne County, Tennessee, also into Lee and Wise counties in Virginia. A few of those spotty showers cannot be ruled out. Most of us stay dry tonight as clouds continue to move off to the east and southeast at this hour. Current temperatures not too bad, especially once you consider where we will be tomorrow morning. Most of us in the upper 40s and lower 50s, 52 for London, 47 in Jackson, 48 for Pikeville, but we are already down to 39 at this hour over in Wise. All of us getting down into those 30s as you wake up on Easter Sunday morning. We stay dry under a clearing sky, and a frost advisory is in place as you wake up on Sunday as well. All those details coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thanks, Cameron. After this week's severe weather, you might be getting ready to file a claim with your insurance. However, some agents say you'll want to do your research before you make that call. Insurance companies warn you should know exactly what your policy entails to make sure it's worth making a claim. Agents say you should calculate the damage. Depending on the amount versus your deductible, you might be better off avoiding a claim.
Shingle or two were blown off your roof, you probably wouldn't want to file a claim on that because you have a deductible on your policy. And if the damage is less than your deductible and you tell your insurance company about it, you're not going to get anything for it.
If you do file a claim, insurance agents ask you to be patient. They say it'll take some time to get through everything coming in after the storm damage. The July flood took a physical and mental toll on people throughout eastern Kentucky. The past 8 months seemed to be a blur for some, working nonstop. Many organizations have worked around the clock to help those in need. The Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky sent flood relief checks to thousands of people. Chief Operating Officer Kristen Collins says she has been in an autopilot setting as recovery continues.
The last 8 months for me particularly has been like bits and pieces is what I remember. I recently went back through my email from July forward, and I don't remember half the work that got done.
The Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky partnered with housing nonprofits in the region for a Housing Can't Wait campaign after the flood. Multiple homes have since been built for flood survivors. Hundreds of Lexington youth made their way to UK this morning in hopes of finding a summer job. Partners for Youth works to promote positive youth development and prevent juvenile delinquency. The program provides workforce training opportunities for 300 Lexington youths. Students attend the career fair, meet with staff from different work sites, and fill out applications, selecting their top 5 career choices. Then they'll be matched to a job for the summer.
And hopefully what they gain from this experience is not only the path they want to take for their future, but also just something for them to learn from this summer's a great experience they take with them.
The Summer Youth Job Training Program lasts 6 weeks. Youth workers will start their new jobs on June 12th. Well, hundreds of kids came out to today's Easter egg hunt hosted by the Hazel Green Fire Department and Red River Valley PTO. But families were able to take home more than just Easter candy. The organizations were also able to give out food, clothing, and other household items. Jordan Mullins has more.
Like many towns across the country, the city of Pikeville is celebrating Easter this weekend. On Saturday, the town had an egg hunt, but one aimed to combat sensory overload for sensitive groups.
And it's kind of remote from everything. It's at Bob Amos Park on the turf football field, in a zone that's quieter, more park-like than something downtown.
Pikeville's sensory-safe egg hunt allowed children or adults prone to overstimulation a quiet place to enjoy spring and hunt some eggs, without the fear of too many noises, lights, or other triggers.
It's a little bit different where we have spaced out areas for them to hunt eggs and kind of be isolated in a way, just to where they feel a bit more comfortable. So we've used the entire football field here.
Local first responders and the University of Pikeville football team also came to help out and interact with the kids.
It feels kind of great because, like, knowing that they look up to us, so it feels like a role model. And sometimes you don't have the right role models in your life, so I feel like I can be that. I feel like we can be that as a unit.
All in the name of inclusiveness.
To give them the opportunity to have the same sort of events, the same sort of celebrations, I suppose, that we have throughout the community. So it's really important that we include everyone in our community.
Allowing those sensitive to overstimulation to celebrate Easter and hunt some eggs. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Pikeville City Manager Philip Ellswick added that the city is thankful for Pike students and student athletes that are willing to pitch in and help out the community. Well, hundreds of kids came out to today's Easter egg hunt hosted by the Hazel Green Fire Department and Red River Valley PTO. But families were able to take home more than just Easter candy. The organizations were also able to give out food, clothing, and other household items thanks to the Hazel Green Food Project. Those involved in the event say they want to help as many families as they can to make ends meet this holiday and beyond.
We have seen a lot of different faces here, and it is really nice to see that our event is keep growing. And they know that they can still come to us even if they need the littlest thing, whether it's laundry detergent or whatever, that they can come and ask us and we're able to help that family. So to see more families that we help show up, it's really heartwarming to see that, we have made somewhat of a difference in those families' lives.
Because of the numerous donations these organizations receive for today's Easter egg hunt, volunteers were able to give out toys and bicycles as prizes. Well, earlier today over in western Kentucky at the Bowling Green Ballpark, the home of the Bowling Green Hot Rods, families gathered for a day filled of fun activities ahead of Easter Sunday. When kids were not hunting for eggs, there was an array of activities spread across the park for them to take part in. And families had the chance to see what new additions are coming to the hot rods as their season quickly approaches.
Today is about having some fun. So we have the playground open, the carousel open. The season starts in 3 days, so you can get your new merch. Tickets are on sale for opening day. Try new concession items, get your pictures taken with the Easter Bunny and Roscoe.
The Bowling Green Hot Rods open up the season this Tuesday, April 11th, against the Rome Braves. Folks celebrating Easter will shell out more money this year on items like eggs and candy. The National Retail Federation says despite inflation, Americans are expected to spend $24 billion on the holiday. Carla Rogner has more.
A chocolate bunny is a must-have for any Easter basket. At Andy's Candies,
this week is the busiest.
Customers still filing in despite higher prices.
They're buying a little bit smaller bunnies, not as big as they used to.
But the total at the cash register is catching some customers by surprise.
Candy for the grandchildren. I wasn't expecting to go out there, but I came to Andy's Candy, and $2 later, they're getting candy.
Owners at the chocolate shop say they've had to raise their prices because the cost of the ingredients to make chocolate has gone up steadily. They say importing cocoa beans is getting more difficult and more expensive. Over at the grocery store,
oh my God, yes. Eggs are outrageous.
The Easter tradition to dye eggs will likely cost you more than last year.
We're going to do that tomorrow for sure, but the price of eggs is keeps going, changing, and so I'm always stocking up. When I find low prices, I buy two dozen instead of one.
In an effort to fight eggflation, people like Julie are spending more time seeking out savings.
I went shopping and found a more affordable way to kind of go all out for my daughter. And I actually reused an Easter basket as well.
Others say they are making the best of the higher prices, determined to stick with their traditions.
The prices are a little bit higher than I'm accustomed to, but it's a special occasion and it's for special people, so I'm okay with it.
Eggs these days cost more than $3 a dozen. That's about double the price from just a year ago. Coming up at 11, we head down to Augusta, Georgia, where golf's biggest major is stuck treading water.
And a chilly start to Easter Sunday is on tap. Your full first alert forecast coming up next.